Okay, so we're just gonna head down here. We're gonna talk to that Alone, and that'll be our first quest for this game. So a little tutorial intro quest, but it'll help us out. It's not just to show how to play, it actually kind of leads you in and gives you stuff. Now these guys right here, like Brocktoon and Glitz, those are actually players. And this is actually the auction house, or one of the auction houses, so we're right in front of the auction house. You'll usually see a lot of players around there. And the reason that I have that question mark next to my name is just because I'm a new player. After a few levels, it'll go away. Let's see if I can find Alun. I think she's over on this side from memory. So let's just head over here. I actually know this city pretty well. I shouldn't get lost too easily if I know where I'm going. I don't know if I'm gonna have to check the map. That's actually a pretty handy thing to do. You can do this thing called a wide scan, and you can look through this list of names. It's not the easiest thing to navigate sometimes when there's a lot of NPCs or non-player characters. And yeah, just look for the right character name, and then it'll show you on the target exactly where they're at on the map. And her name is Alaun. So looking for an A name. She should be on here. There we go, right there. Okay, so I was at the opposite end. So we need to go to West Gate. We're at East Gate, so just kind of turn the camera and go forward, and then we'll be right about there. But yeah, this game's actually really fun. It still holds up pretty well today. It has a lot of content since it's a long-running MMO, and they are still updating it. However, I do want to point out real quick that they are ending the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 2 version of this game's service this month, so you're gonna have to play it on Windows. So that's one thing that you gotta kind of pay attention to now. That's just about starting. Okay, so now we are looking for the right person. She should be in here somewhere. Not exactly sure where. Oh, there she is. Okay, right over there. Okay, let's talk to her. Greetings and well met, Guardian of the Kingdom, Alaun, at your most humble service. My station is to help along those new to the life of an adventurer in Vana'diel. Vana'diel is the world that we're in, the planet. Okay, I specialize in the types of fundamental knowledge necessary for success in such endeavors, as well as related methods of pedagogy. With my aid, you can rest assured that your first steps down the adventurer's path will not go astray. Should you consider yourself a newcomer, I would highly recommend that you make full use of my services. This is a permanent post, and I never leave it. Remember it well. Whenever you need a hand with anything at all, don't hesitate to come calling. Okay, so we're gonna talk to her again. So, are you interested in some entry-level duties to put you well on your way to greatness? Not to worry, I've got just the thing for you. Go talk to the guard Aravoj over yonder and have him cast Signet on you, and then come back and see me. Get that on me. He's right over here. This guard. Let's talk to him. Now, these are the guards. You can actually do this whenever you want. It's not just part of a quest. And it's actually something that you won't have cast on you at all times. And it's called Signet. And what you want to do is have that cast on you. So you just, would you cast Signet on me? And yep, and then basically he says all this stuff, and he will cast it on you. Now you can tell that it's still on you when you have this indicator up here, and actually tells how many hours are left on it. So that little crystal up there is good. Now what this does is allows you to not only pick up crystals from experience-giving enemies, it also allows you to take part in your nation's conquest campaign, which allows you to turn in your points that you get along the way adventuring, your conquest campaign points, and you can turn them in for items that are pretty much like little bonus items. So one of the things that I'll be getting first with that is the experience boosting ring, and we'll be getting that probably in either the next episode or the one after it, depending on how many points I get and how fast I can get them. Okay, let's go back and talk to Alun. Well, it looks like you were able to get your signet. Easy enough, yes? As long as signet is in effect, there's always a possibility that you obtain crystals from any enemies that you defeat. There are also other more concrete benefits, such as increased defense and evasion. Signet even helps you when you're not engaged in combat with an enemy. For example, it boosts the rate at which healing occurs while at rest. For all these reasons and more, you should consider it essential to have signet cast on you at all times. Very well then, as a reward for a successful completion of your first assignment, I would like to present you with these strips of meat jerky. There's more here than meets the eye. That was a joke. Anyway, type of item known amongst adventurers as a meal. This meal in particular will temporarily enhance your attack power when eaten. Whenever any type of meal is consumed, you will receive some such temporary status bonus. Naturally, different meals grant different types of bonuses. For the most part, meat dishes will affect attack power. Conversely, seafood dishes generally enhance defense, and so on and so forth. Take care to select dishes best suited to your purpose. One thing you should make note of, however, is that you cannot eat a meal while another meal's status bonus is still in effect. Your stomach would simply burst. That's quite a lot to cover. Are you with me so far? Okay, this is a breeze. Great, well, talking can only prepare you so much. Let's get right into it. Go ahead and pop one of those strips of meat jerky. After eating a meal, a status icon designated as food will appear in the upper left portion of your screen, which is right up there next to the signet. And come back and talk to me once again after you've confirmed that it's there. So, I got the meat jerky, and I can use those at any time, and they'll just be a little handy meal, like she said. We're going to eat one of them now, like she said once again, and then we'll talk back to her. Pretty cool effect for just eating food. Okay, now we got that status indicator up there. Careful not to click on it, because it'll actually disable it, I believe, if you click on it and you target it. So let's go talk to her. Check out the full belly on you. Well done. Signet and meals can both play crucial roles whenever you take on any type of enemy. This is a key lesson that you should do well not to forget. Next, let's get those pristine hands of yours nice and dirty. No sense in letting that food go to waste now, is there? Let's send you out to fight a monster on a full stomach. Exiting to that gate over there will lead you into an area with hostile enemies. Try to target one of the monsters and select the check option from your menu. This will help you ascertain an enemy's level of difficulty and make sure they are not too strong. A smart adventurer picks her fights. Be warned, engaging an enemy that it checks as very tough or above will result in your signet not granting you the defense and evasion bonuses you would otherwise receive. And that brings us to your next assignment. It's time you learn how to use a weapon skill. Perhaps you've already noticed, but sometimes when fighting an enemy, your skills will raise little by little. It's important, guys. When your skill with the weapon you are wielding reaches a predetermined value, weapon skills will become available for use. Combo, for those adept with hand-to-hand weapons. Wasting, for those who fight with daggers. That's what I'll be getting. Fast Blade, for those who prefer the sword. Shining Strike, for wielders of the club. Heavy Swing with the staff, and on and on and on. Selecting status from the main menu will bring up the combat skill option. This will display the current skill values in all weapon categories. The first weapon skill will be learned at skill value 5, so make that your first goal and we'll take it from there. Okay, so I have to go out, fight monsters. I'll be leveling up along the way, and in addition, I'll be looking forward to my conquest points, which I can turn in for that EXP ring. So that's one thing we'll be looking out for, but also we're looking for our weapon skills. Now we already made sure that we had our weapon equipped, so let's head outside. And we do have our food buff on and stuff like that, so we should be fine. I'm not going to worry about anything else right now. This is actually pretty simple stuff, so this should be pretty much all I need to do at the very start of this game. I know I've covered some of this stuff in a previous video, but it's been a year, and I'm just kind of taking things fresh. Now, I am a Red Mage, so things are going to be a little bit different. I'll have magic. So let's head out here, and I am going to look for some of the easiest enemies in the game. Also some of the most terrifying at first, for some people, myself included. And that is the rabbits, or the rarabs. Let's try to find these bunnies wherever they may be. Here's one, a wild rabbit. So this is how you play the game, basically, guys. You have your target, you target an enemy, this little box down here pops up. You have attack, magic. Now attack isn't just attack like you normally just click on an attack over and over. It's like an auto attack. So once you click on that, it brings out your weapon and shield if you have a shield, and gets you in an attack stance, and you're ready to fight in an attack auto attack. And then you can also go from magic, and you don't have to be in attack to use magic, but in my case I kind of want to be. You also have abilities, which I'll show you that once we're in the battle, and then trust will come into play later in a later video. And items are pretty self-explanatory, and there's checks. So what you want to do on this game, you want to start with checks. So let's click check. The wild rabbit seems like a decent challenge. A decent challenge means that it's pretty much a little bit closer to your own level, so that's what you should be fighting. Let's click on attack. It'll take out my weapon. And then we're going to use magic. We're going to use Dia. We're going to cast that spell that I learned. Remember that? Now that does a light damage that also affects it and lowers the defense, I believe. So we're going to keep on attacking this guy. You got to be close enough to hit him. And you can see his health down in the corner. That's his target box. And then there's my health right there. And I believe it shows it somewhere else too. So yeah, so basically it tells all your battle stats down there. And it also tells how much experience you gain from beating that. After it says the rabbit falls to the ground or whatever enemy dies, then it tells how much experience points that you get yourself. So I got 320, so that's important to know because you go up to status on the menu. I have 320 out of 500. Once I reach 500, I make it to level 2 and increases my character's abilities. And also the kinds of equipment that I can pick up and wear. So let's just continue killing these rabbits. Now, one other thing that I'm looking for is using my my dagger. My dagger needs to upgrade its ability to rank 5 in order to complete this first quest. Actually, I think technically this is the second quest because the first quest was talking to the guard and getting signet, which we were rewarded with the food. Alright, and I leveled up. Plays that classic Final Fantasy victory fanfare, and we are good to go. The reason I said we're good to go is because it actually refills your health and your MP. So your HP and MP are now fully healed when you level up, which is really handy. So we're going to be doing this, and now there is something else called TP. Now that's actually what we're working towards. We don't have a weapon skill at this point. The abilities are right here. So you have weapon skills after you click on abilities. Now I don't have any weapon skills currently, but once that reaches to level 5, then I will have my first ability, and that's what you use TP for, and I'll show you that later on. Now this is a treasure box. They appear randomly. They're kind of newer to the game, not too new. So I'm going to pick up this. The blue treasure boxes are temporary items, so I got these temporary items that disappear when you leave a zone. Like if I were to go back in the city, it would disappear. So I want to keep in mind that I have a potion in case my health gets low. Additionally, there is brown treasure boxes, and those will have normal permanent items. Sometimes normal items, sometimes equipment. Here's another enemy, the tunnel worm. I'm going to check it. It's easy prey, just like the bunnies pretty much. However, these have a burrow ability, so they can kind of run away sometimes if you're not fast enough to get to them. They do have different abilities than the bunny, of course. So we're just going to take him on, kind of casually. I'm not even going to cast Dia, because it's already dead. There's a treasure box. I kind of want to skip it, but I'll show you this first one. I probably shouldn't be skipping it at this low level anyways. So what I usually do is I examine the lock, and then it'll tell you a hint about how to solve it. If you examine it again, I think it'll give you an even closer hint. But this says you have a hunch the second digit is 4, 5, or 6. Then you click on it again. You once again attempt to unlock it, and you enter a combination. So I'm going to enter 36. I don't know. Less, and it'll tell you if it's less than 36. So I'm going to try asking it one more time and examine. The first digit is 2, 3, or 4, and I know that's less than 36, so it has to be in the 20. And it has to be either 24, 25, or 26. So I'm going to try all those and see if I can get it. I'll start with 25. Alright, we got it. Okay, cool. Now, I'm going to click on it one more time, and these are the items that I pick, or I can obtain, actually. So, I'm going to get all of them because I have pretty empty inventory space, so I can pick them all up. I got the zinc ore, which will come into handy later on. I got the willow wand, which is actually for mages. I don't think I could use it, but I might be able to. And I got this brass harness, which is actually for level 11, so I'll hang on to that for quite a while. And I'm going to check my equipment to see if I can even use that willow wand. No, it's for level 9, but I can use it technically because it does say the classes that you can use this weapon. So white mage, black mage, red mage. I'm a red mage, remember that. Okay, cool guys, so we're just going to continue on. If you want to support my channel, Happy Beard Games, please leave a like, it helps a lot. Leave a comment, let me know what you think. Share it on various social media, including Twitter, and subscribe today for more classic gaming goodness and more Final Fantasy XI content. Alright guys, until next time, Happy Beard Games, we'll see you then. Happy Beard Games, out.